Hey everyone, in this Forza Motorsport how to upgrade cars video, I'm going to talk about this process. To upgrade cars, you just need to have a little look at the car itself. So for example, if I want to upgrade this Mustang, I move to the cars section on the home menu, select that, and go into upgrade and tune. When you're in this area, you have access to all of your cars, and the one that I'm going to have a little look at here is my trusty Mustang, which is a Ford. You can see I've got loads of cars here. I've got 22 cars that I can mess around with and upgrade. And the important thing is you need to be driving these cars to have access to certain upgrades, which is why I'm focusing on the Mustang in this example. I just purchased all of these with the add-ons bundle, which I covered in a separate video if you're interested in that. Anyway, let's have a little look at our Mustang and have a little look how the upgrade system works. So we select the car here with A on my controller, and then I have access to performance, which is where I would do the upgrade area. You've also got access to tuning, setup manager, and select car. But let's have a little look at performance and talk about this. On the top bar, we can see all sorts of information. We can see the car level, just next to where it says Ford Mustang GT. So I've been driving this car a little while and got it up to car level 9. The higher you get that level, the more access you'll have to other upgrades and to help out, building the car up. You can see on the top right hand side how much CP you have, which is how much you can use into investing in the upgrades of this car. So I have 550 available, and I've used 950. You will get more of that the more you drive the car and the more stuff you win and the better you perform with it. So just keep building that up over time. Now, below that, we've got things like fuel and air, engine, platform and handling, tyres, wheels and drivetrain. And I'm moving between those with LB and RB. If it's a different button, it'll show to the left and the right of that menu bar system for you. Each of these you're free to delve into by selecting them, and just down below there you can see it says A to select. So for example, if I want to have a little look at the exhaust, I can select that here and then move between the stock. So I've got that there. I'm using my left stick to the sport or the race, and up above here you can see a bit of information on how this is being affected. So if I added, for example, the sport one, it would actually increase some of my settings here just slightly, but anything that goes green is an improvement over what we've got already. Now you can see if I added the exhaust here, you can add it by hitting select part, so down below there just A. And then that has improved the performance, and we can see that I've spent 200 CP on this exhaust system. The nice thing about this upgrade system is you are free to pull stuff out of that upgrade system if you change your mind. So we can select this again and say, do you know what, switch it back to stock and give me those CP points back. And you can see to the top there, my 550 is still available now because I've just removed that off of there. And that's how the upgrades largely work. So what you want to be looking at here is accessing the different areas and debating which is giving you the best upgrade for your CP. So for example, you would expect things like the flywheel to do a bit of an improvement, but we can see it's only a minor improvement, but it's not a big cost over the 50 that I've spent there already. It would up, the acceleration slightly. If I move me just to the bottom left, let's just go full bottom left, just so I'm out of the way a little bit and you can see a bit clearer what's going on there with the performance. So you can see a slight plus there. So you can spend quite a bit of time tinkering with this. Now if you can't be bothered with that, you can use the quick upgrade option to the right there. So for me that's X, quick upgrade, shown on the bottom bar. And if I press that, it'll calculate some ideas and say, look, we could do this. This is going to up your acceleration, speed, handling and braking. And it's also going to increase the PI level. So we can see it stays as a B-class car, but it's 590, so it's slightly higher performance. And it will spend all my car points that we've got remaining. So it would say, do you want to do all of this? You could go confirm and say, okay, that's spent all my points, and this is the level of car that I've got. But just like before, I can go through and see, well, where did it spend stuff? And you can see it spent 300 on brakes. So I could go, actually, I disagree, my friends. So I could hit that with A, and I could say, take that off. And as I took that off, it's dropped that performance back down, so I can see what the difference is here between the two. And you can see it did up braking slightly, but I could say actually what I want to mess around with is, I don't know, let's see, drivetrain. I could say I want to mess with the transmission, and you can see, look, that's really going to up the performance here, but I don't have enough for it. So you see top right, if you can't afford it, it'll moan. But I could possibly do some of these, but not that one. I don't think I can do that one either. You get the idea anyway. So it's up to you whether you do the quick upgrade or the manual upgrade. Entirely up to you. But there we can see we've used everything. And it's all non-destructive. You can always play around with it to your heart's content. If we come back out of there, another option, of course, that you could talk about with upgrading is tuning. And this is, I suppose, a finer art. So you can see, you can tune all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And here you can mess around with your tyre pressures, your gearing, alignment, anti-roll bars, springs, etc. However, much of this is locked off until you can upgrade your sort of level of the car and your knowledge of the car, so you can't do too much with this to begin with, but it is all here if you want to go in and start tweaking things. You can see we've got a little bit of information on the left hand side, so in theory if I mess around with some of this stuff we could see some of these things changing, not that that's doing much. There's also an option setup manager down the bottom there. We can test drive and have other access to it. So your current setup has been changed. Do you want to apply it? I'm going to say no. So once I'm happy with it, I could apply it or go back out. But my point is that you could go in and tune those bits on your car. But the bigger things that people tend to go with is the performance section, which is where we were at. So the setup manager is where you can save your setup and then or find one by other community members. So if we have a little look in here, we could say find me a tune and whoops, have a little look at that, and this will have a little look what people have done, and I could debate whether I wanted to use this tune or not. But you can see these are all locked at the minute because I haven't got the required levels or attributes of them, but they are possible tunes that I could get made by other people. So you can see where people have done that and they said what it's good for, and you can debate whether you want that or not. Similarly, if you make a tune, you could put your tune there and then save that and share for other people to use as well if you so wish. We can also select our car here, so if I want to look at a different car, what I want to show you here is if we took, say, this Acura, the level of the car is important on what you can actually access. So you can see I've only got 300 CP here, and there's not a lot I can access at the minute. So I can't access anything on the tyres because this requires car level 2, as does all of these things here. So I need to drive that car a bit before I can access those upgrades. So it's worth having a little look at all of your cars and debating which ones you can, adjust. So we go back into the upgrade and tune, and you'll find some cars have far more configuration than others. So if we have a little look at, say, I don't know, let's have a little look at this S-Class car, performance, and we can see this one would need a whopping car level 30 before I can mess around with the displacement. So, it's worth having a little look all through them, and you can see each car is getting its own amount of car points up the top right hand side, which will generate more of as you race in that car. So there you go, my friends. That's how to upgrade cars in Forza Motorsport. I hope that was useful to you. If it was, give us a thumbs up, please. That's much appreciated. Any comments welcome. If you need more help with the game, do let me know with what. I'll do my best to help. I'm always reading my comments, so as long as you're constructive and fair to me, I'll reply to you as best I can. Whilst the channel is still at a point where I can do that. So thanks so much for spending the time on that. And if you like what you see on here, hit that subscribe, will you? I don't just cover Forza Motorsport, but many other games too. Thanks.